I believe society might have reached its lowest point. I don't know necessarily what causes this problem, but it seems that we are surrounded by people that have the critical thinking ability of a well-grown grapefruit. Because I feel like we've lost the point of the internet. I don't want to go all unk and shit on you, but I did just turn 30, so maybe that's my job now. I feel like we have lost track of the point of the internet, which is to connect people and to have fun. And most importantly, to keep track of sports scores. But also, like, some things obviously need to be taken very seriously. On the other side, though, some things don't. It's not always life or death. It's not always incredibly serious. You don't always need to have an incredibly strong opinion on something. I realize that's ironic for me, being a guy that just sits here and talks about things, but I don't always have a strong opinion about the things that I'm talking about. I do have a strong opinion about this because the dude with the hair, right? The Manchester United fan who decided that he was going to grow his hair out and not get a haircut until United won 5 straight. He decided to really line that up with Manchester United not doing that well. He's obviously become a huge celebrity, goes by the United Strand. Just general awareness in terms of people knowing who he is has absolutely skyrocketed. And this all reached a fever pitch after Manchester United, against all the odds with Carrick taking over, won 4 straight matches, leading to a match where Manchester United was the betting favorite to win against West Ham, where if he wins, right? Like if he wins, he cuts his hair, or if they win, he cuts his hair. And so obviously, after more than a year of buildup and this dude having this just hilarious looking helmet on his head, right? This is not somebody that was born to grow his hair out. This is somebody that in caveman times, my boy Grok would have taken a really sharp rock and been like, brother, we got to get that off your head, right? This is not a dude who's rocking the flowing locks here. He's rocking a pillow. Okay. And I'm sure it's 300 degrees under there, which in the winter is probably not a bad move. But seriously, there's no way this guy isn't begging for them to win, for him to be able to cut his hair off. Because when is the next time Manchester United's going to be able to step on the field and actually win 5 straight matches? But lo and behold, Manchester United chokes. They trip and fall, and they weren't wearing their life alert, and they can't let anybody know, and they can't get up. They score a really late goal with Benjamin Šeško, and they draw. A 1-1 draw against 18th placed West Ham for 4th placed Manchester United, which means that this hair guy now has to keep his hair, right? And he's posting videos, day 400, whatever, and it's 0 out of 5 is the new win streak, right? Optimism is now low. But he's also now dealing with something that is just ridiculous, which is like this cavalcade of hate. And I'm just going to be very, very, very straight up. If you're hating on this guy, why? Right? Like this whole cycle has been indicative of the way like the internet works, right? You're going to build somebody up and you build them 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 up and then boom, the balloon pops. I mean, you saw Burnt Peanut, big famous Twitch streamer, right? If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then fast forward 20 seconds. He blows up, becomes, I've got people I stream on Twitch, obviously, as a job. So my friends that don't stream, which is almost all of them, would be, hey, do you know this Peanut guy, right? Like people that aren't in that world encountering him, and then all of a sudden people go, I don't think this guy's funny. He must be view botting, right? That's the only reason anybody, there's no way these numbers are real. This guy's not funny. He's come out of nowhere, right? He must be view, and then boom, you're trying to like tear him down. I'm pretty sure plenty of people give you very valid reasons to tear them down in the first place. But the dude whose only gimmick, his only thing, all he's doing, I'm sure in his wildest dreams, he couldn't have imagined that this would blow up as much as it has. He just jokingly said, I'm not going to cut my hair until Manchester United wins 5 in a row, and it blew up. And now, literally, Wayne Rooney talking about the United Strand, saying, if I got asked to cut this guy's hair, I'd put him on the other side of the country. He's doing my head in. We're talking about, I'm sure somebody asked Wayne Rooney, would you cut his hair after they win 5 straight? He said, we're talking about Carrick and United trying to win their 5th game in a row, and the whole thing is about this guy getting a haircut. I bet he'd be devastated if United win the 5th game because all of a sudden he's irrelevant. And I realize this is from Twitter, right? But there's an actual quote. You can look it up. It's been reported on in a lot of news articles, and to which my response is, like, what does this have to do with the actual Like, what does this have to do with the actual team's performance? Like, people are just projecting whatever they feel about the internet or influencers in general, and I'm sure Wayne Rooney doesn't like the influencers in general, right? That would be, I mean, for a guy that just is of the ilk of Wayne Rooney, that just feels like a real bread and butter in the wheelhouse, knock it out of the ballpark kind of take that he would have, that influencer culture is bad. And honestly, most of the time I would agree with him, right? But he's doing my head in. This first part is kind of acceptable. It's a crotchety old guy answer, but it's like, oh, yeah, I wouldn't cut that guy hair. He's driving me crazy, right? The acceptable second part of that is it's driving me crazy because he keeps popping up as this reminder that Manchester United can't win 5 in a row. But then he starts being frustrated that the whole conversation is around this guy's hair. That's not this guy's fault. We're the ones talking about it. And why are we talking about it? Because it's stupid and it's funny. And nobody can believe that this guy's actually following through with it. It's like a fantasy football punishment for everybody. We're all seeing it. We're all watching it. And the idea that he's devastated if United win the 5th game because all of a sudden he's irrelevant, I don't think he started this for relevancy. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. I don't know the guy. Maybe privately he's just a piece of shit, right? But he's given me the impression the entire time of this process that he's just some random dude who started a funny joke that has gotten wildly out of hand. And the need, like, to the point that we have Wayne Rooney slandering the guy, that he's somehow milking Manchester United's failures for content. Right? To be fair, the best content seems to come when Manchester United wins 4 matches in a row and then all of a sudden tease this guy up on a platter to either be, shaved or beheaded with shame. Okay? Like, it's not even like his gimmick is entirely tied to Manchester United's irrelevance. If they perpetually don't win a game, he is a lot less interesting. There's a lot less people paying attention to this guy because it's not almost happening. But that's beside the point. This guy has not hijacked the world and made us pay attention to him. We did it. We did it. The reason why everybody's talking about it is because everybody chooses to talk about it. Everybody finds it interesting and funny and stupid. Like, it's not like this is some sort of government mandated, like, we've got to pay attention to this guy, right? And it's okay to not want to pay attention to him. It's okay to not find it funny. It's okay to not find it amusing or silly or stupid or whatever. It's totally okay to find it annoying. That is a natural human reaction. To be like, why is everybody talking about this? But the annoyance should not be with the guy. The annoyance should be with all of the people that are talking about it. Be annoyed with them. Be annoyed with the pundits. Why is the TV giving this guy airtime? This is stupid. It annoys me. That's a way more valid, way more valid thing to talk about than just this. Right? But it's not just Wayne Rooney. The crash outs all over the place have been ridiculous. There's a freeze frame of West Ham scoring less than 6 minutes into the match of him smiling. People are using this freeze frame as an example of like, he's happy, his relevance continues. I once did a stream where I couldn't stop streaming until San Marino won a Premier League game in Football Manager. I put them in, would sim a season, see if they won a game, did it again. Took over 140 seasons. It was torture. It was like over 24 hours. All right. And at a certain point, they would draw a match, maybe have a penalty to win and miss. And I would laugh because at a certain point, it got so out of hand that I was like, of course, right? It's a natural human reaction because you're like, this is ridiculous to the point that I have to find it funny. He is now assuming, I am sure he assumed Manchester United was going to win this game. They get scored on the first 6 minutes against West Ham. It's a beautiful bit of work by Jared Bowen, right? It's like, he's just going there. Are you serious? I'm going to be stuck with this hair forever. I look like a founding father before he turned gray. Like, this is not the gotcha you think it is. This is just people, again, that have the critical thinking of a grapefruit. Not even a well-grown one at this point as we go through this. This is what English football has become. Say what you want about Scottish football, but I genuinely don't think any Scottish team would allow a fanny like this and their support to get so much publicity. First of all, Manchester United's turned Mark Goldbridge into Jesus on water on roller skates. So I don't think this is a fandom that has an excellent nose, for the right people to promote in the first place. I got no issue with Goldbridge as a person. He just feels kind of fake to me, like he forces his gimmicks and celebrations in the darkness of my bedroom scrolling before I go to sleep. I have laughed at Mark Goldbridge clips too, so I'm not going to pretend that I haven't, right? He pulls it off. Most of the people that care about this aren't United fans. I'm not a United fan. I'm emotionally invested in this guy and his hair. I'm interested in the story. I can't wait to see what it looks like when it gets cut off 7 years from now. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like this is... Manchester United fans held a fucking meeting, little kumbaya, light the fire, everybody holds hands and goes, yes, we will support the man who is not cutting his hair. Like, that doesn't happen. It's the footballing world that has become obsessed with this guy, and it's not some indictment of English football. You know, maybe Scottish football needs a few more gimmicks, else nobody else is paying any fucking attention. In case you haven't noticed, all the teams suck. I love Scotland, but let's not pretend. All right, you invented the game. It left you over 100 years ago. It did. Again, love Scotland, love the Scottish game. Did you see what happened in Europe? Okay, like it's not, you know, the game left you a long time ago. Start not cutting your hair and see what happens, right? Maybe it'll come back. You know who else to blame for this? That fucking clown who can't get his fucking haircut because of a fucking game of football. Just fucking cut your hair, you dumb fuck. Why? Why do you have so much anger to unleash at this guy? It's a stupid gimmick. You should probably be mad at the football team that can't win 5 matches in a row, despite allegedly being the biggest club in the world, right? The team that you're a fan of. It's like everybody's redirecting their anger into this guy. And don't even be mad at Manchester United. They're playing well. I mean, they played bad against West Ham, right? That's probably what you're upset about. You know, that they dropped points against the 18th team in the league. And people don't know this, but he put tension on our players and even the fans. Let him cut his hair, please. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Right? There is no way. Like, have you ever been to a Premier League match? I mean, obviously some of these people maybe have, but if you're talking about internet fans of Real Madrid or Manchester United or whatever, they've usually never been to a match, right? So the amount of intensity on the field, just the pace and the physicality, the speed the ball is moving, right? The amount of emotional investment you have to just be able to participate in athletics at that level. The unbelievable emotional investment of the fans and the stands and the amount of intensity and desperation they have for you to be able to win the game. I mean, sure, maybe you want a dead ball, you're thinking about, wow, West Ham just scored against us. It's kind of funny that kid might not ever cut his hair, right? Because you're a human being, maybe that crosses your mind, but my God, pretending that you know, whether this guy can cut his hair or not is pressure relative to like, people don't understand, right? And I realize you got to be a fortunate person to be able to attend a high-level sporting event in your life. Most people never get to do that. You got to be aware of, you know, how lucky you are to be able to do that. But if you ever are, you realize how unbelievably hard it is to play at that level, right? And that when you're watching it on TV, it looks a lot easier, and you're like, oh, the team just must be caving under the pressure of this guy. But no, they're fucking not. They're playing a team that's desperate to get out of the relegation zone in a thunderdome of intensity. It's not the last thing they'll ever think about, but it's certainly not adding pressure. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, a random TikToker for millionaire footballers dropping points, blaming the random TikToker for millionaire footballers dropping points. I show speed with a pretty good reenactment there. This is a comment underneath the guy's post. I feel terrible for him now. He's getting like a ton of hate now. Fuck off, you cunt, and go get a haircut. You single-handedly made us drop points yesterday, which is the most ridiculous claim ever. Right? Because some of the unnecessary pressure that shouldn't be. I'm fucking angry at you, man. Fuck off. It's a brain dead take. It makes absolutely no sense. There's a whole team and players getting paid the GDP of small countries to go win a match. They play for Manchester United. They've got all the resources available to them, you know, outside of decent food at their training ground to be able to go win this match. And they didn't fucking do it. That was their job. This dude's a fan. Could have been you, Farouk, if you didn't hate fun. That it's just decided not to cut his hair and the joke's gotten completely out of hand and it's wild. It's not adding pressure to the team. It is not. I mean, if anything, Manchester United should turn it into a thing. When they win their 5th match, they should have club legends cut his hair and be like, we're back, you know? If I was running the club, I would try to involve the guy, right? Because he's trying to inspire the team to win. Right? But there's just some idea that he, like, even if it is somehow adding a ton of pressure, which it's not, how is that this guy's fault? Right? How could that have been his goal? Nobody knew who this guy was until he put on the hair. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like, they're literally blaming this dude for not getting his hair. 13 points from 5 games would be lauded as a superb start, but that insufferable prick has taken the whole joy out of it. With his fun gimmick? Enjoy the 13 points. You're in a fucking Champions League spot. You should be as happy as you've ever been. You should be celebrating like one of those inflatable guys in front of a car dealership with the run that Carrick's got you on. But yet somehow you're fixated and pissed off like Wayne Rooney after he didn't get his, bangers and mash quite right out of the microwave. Like, just, he woke up on the wrong side of the hay bale, and now he's just all pissed off that, this guy is somehow, benefiting from the fact that Manchester United drew 1 of 5 matches. Now, what should be happening, in my humble opinion, is this. This is fucking hilarious. It's the Mbappe picture at the World Cup, walking away with a golden boot, and he's walking away from like a head shaver. Just objectively, unbelievably funny. This is how people should be enjoying this. And oh, by the way, they are attacking a guy who has started to raise money for charity. He's raised over £7,500 for the Little Princess Trust. The Little Princess Trust provides real hair wigs free of charge to children and young people. I believe that he's also said he's going to donate his hair when it's done. So he's using all of the attention on his hair to try and raise money for charity. I don't know the guy. He might not be a saint. He might secretly be enjoying all of this. And if he is, I'm going to get a lot, not enjoying all of this, but hoping Manchester United still lose. I don't believe that's the truth. If it is, then I'm probably going to be less interested in it. But we made this. This wasn't him. In the same way that I would be talking to clouds in the wall in my room if you guys weren't watching. You guys choose to watch, which I am very thankful for, and I enjoy hanging out with you guys. But, I'm still just one dude sitting here talking about whatever I want to talk about, in the same way that this is just a guy doing some sort of fantasy football gimmick that we've all decided was interesting and wanted to pay attention to and crazy, and we'd never seen something like it before. Why is this guy getting hate? Just sad people, man.